Hey everybody, welcome to Bug Dad Pod. I'm your boy Wes Neil, Deegan the Vegan, and CBC are with me. Of course.
Dude, I'm getting so buff. Are you kidding me?
And look at how stacked you guys are getting. You guys are getting fucking ripty.
That really comes across on the audio medium.
Yeah, like 1,000%.
Dude,
Especially
I don't know. I feel like my jaw is like all of a sudden like more pronounced. Like I feel like my teeth are wider. Like it just
There
like,
it is.
you know.
teeth are wider.
Oh, the official
I'm doing my best.
cinematic.
Have you just been whitening your teeth, Vegan? Do you just feel better about yourself?
No, I don't whiten my teeth.
No, it's a side effect from all the testosterone.
Clearly, it's leg day, bro.
Yeah.
Today was
What
leg
makes your
day,
teeth
so I'm
whiter?
juiced
Just
with
remember that.
testosterone. Gotta get
Just
those
remember.
gains, teeth gains, bro.
Teeth
Absolutely.
gain. Oh yeah,
really
yeah.
like-
CBCs look wider too.
See?
I see it on the. Oh man,
I've
I
always
I
been
always
white.
have like whitish teeth. My teeth are just crooked. Shit's just fucking.
I have a bright
bad,
light
man.
on my face, so
It all looks
Yeah.
white. Yeah,
It
Yeah,
all
they're
looks
they're
white.
pearly.
it
They're
all
pearly AF.
looks.
blinding. But
So what's up, guys? Happy 11/11.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, 11/11, 2021.
7
Chilling
days since
as
we talked,
usual.
because we definitely don't talk unless we're on Bug Dad podcast, obviously.
Try to record all of our interactions wherever possible.
I know across all type of medias.
Did we have to let Clark in on this link at some point, or else like he's never gonna catch up? Like he needs to be able to like watch these every week, so when he comes on Sunday, he's like a little bit more prepared than he has been, you know?
He understands just a little bit more of everything
Yeah,
that's going on.
absolutely.
Yeah,
Mhm.
no, I totally understand that. Yeah, but the fun
One
is the
day.
mystery of it.
One day.
One day.
One day.
Yeah. We'll give him a catalog to work through. He'll have a little bit.
600 episodes.
Backlog. Yeah.
Here's 22 hours of shit.
I know you don't have time to do anything, but
Yeah,
here you
right.
go.
No, of course.
Here you go.
No time. So busy, man.
Let's go ahead.
Neil, what's your
on
top
the
of the
list.
week? What's the biggest thing for you?
What's the biggest thing for me?
Yeah, what's the top of the list? What are you like busting at the mouth to talk about?
I'm busting out the seams to talk about. I'm busting out the
There you
seams
go.
to talk about.
You're busting at the mouth.
Well, I always start with video games, so I guess I'll start with video games. I saw more
Sure.
of the world of Eldin Ring. I saw a couple people that have played the early access to the beta that I guess is going out.
Yeah, those
But,
network test codes have been passed out.
Yeah, and I got to
Um,
see some
yeah.
really awesome
Yeah.
boss fights. The world seems like a really deep and expansive one where like
I didn't want it anyway. Honestly, I don't want it.
You know,
don't
I
wanna
didn't
see
need
it.
a network code.
Nah,
That's cool. I
whatever.
don't
I
have
didn't-
time to
it's gonna be super busy
play
anyway.
a game right now.
Way too
it's-
busy.
I think they're just jealous because of all the amazing shit that happened inside that test.
Well,
It's
the
absolutely beautiful. The 7 different-
messiah of Bloodborne and Soulsborne content, Vati, graced us with a 29-minute
20.
video.
So yeah.
Oh,
20
my
something minutes.
just him narrating his just his
Boy.
playthrough.
Uh-huh.
His like he's like, this is the lane that I took through this area. What is it? Limgard? What's it called?
Yeah.
And man,
I
it
could
was
listen to him
crisp.
all day long.
It looks
Just
so good.
it was great.
Just
and
talk to me.
Like the combat looked fluid and the weapon arts were awesome. And then, yeah, as you said, like all the boss fights that we saw were cool. Like the mini
So
bosses
many
and the
boss fights.
dungeons and the small dungeons, the big dungeons, and
And
then
like the horse combat,
caravans,
we got to see a lot more of
the
the horse
mounted combat, and
and
then
like
all
I
the
really wanted
jumping, and that adds like this extra access to combat. And it's like, so when I was watching him play, I had this thought back to when I was playing Sekiro, when I have like this fluid vertical combat, but I never get to change my weapon, like ever. Like you got those
Always
like
a sword.
like you had the
Tools,
whatever. Yeah, you had the tools, and you know, like the shuriken, you had the
prosthetics.
axe.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. But you never got to change your weapon. So I feel like that's gonna fulfill that need now, because like,
Three different.
Yeah,
you have
like
like
doing
that
like some kind of
sneaking
like
around.
with like an axe, like a
Yeah,
hand
yeah,
axe, and
sneaking
like
behind someone,
coming
just
down and
boom
just
with an
yeah,
axe. Yeah, or
Yeah.
just like a mace, or yeah.
spear coming down on somebody with like a halberd or a spear from like vertical top.
The sorceries look great. Like, just yeah.
Yeah, no,
Yeah,
it
because
looked
he was like a
incredible.
sorcerer. Like the video that we were watching, or at least the one that only one
Yeah,
I watched,
yeah.
was he was a sorcerer knight was his
Enchanted
class.
Knight. Yeah,
Yeah, and
Enchanted
so he
Knight.
had like this lance
Yeah,
spell. So
Yeah.
it was like this blue.
yeah. He had like a
that-
mace slash catalyst, like that he would hold, and then yeah,
Mhm.
I seen him like almost do like the what's the miracle with the lightning? It was almost like that, right? But it was
I didn't
just
catch
like
the name.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then the summons looked really cool, and like you could only summon once per battle and only in certain spots.
right.
Right.
And like there was like that little graveyard icon came up, and then they had like a defined health, and like you saw the health bar on the side, almost like
Like
a
it was a key.
MMO.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it was like an RPG kind of thing going on. So yeah,
I'm
can't wait.
really trying to temper my excitement because it's only November and
I
it's like
started playing Dark Souls
4 months.
2 because I had never played through that. So I
Hmm.
was
Okay.
like, I
All right.
spent
Okay.
a few hours playing that just to try
Nice.
to
That is
satiate.
that is the only one that Neil has completed.
All right, on.
Yeah.
It's
Let's
It's
put
different.
that
really
one
easy.
together.
It's different.
It's not made by Miyazaki, so
Mhm.
Yeah.
So, uh, a note about Dark Souls 2, in the like opening trailer, or like when in one of the opening cinematics, it's like too on the nose, where like the woman is like, try to keep all your souls.
yeah.
Who am I kidding? You're gonna lose all your souls over and over again. Like something like to that effect. I was like,
Yeah.
oh, that kind of took me out of it. It was a
Huh.
It is by far the worst in the series. The level design in comparison to the other games is downright atrocious.
Yeah.
You literally just
Disrespect.
walk down paths
it
and
it's so far it looked like a like Skyrim or Elder Scrolls, or like something like that. It's just like these lanes and little offshoots, and then just back to that, like
Hallways.
yeah.
Empty
nothing
hallways.
curling around and in a big fashion.
No, nothing
Nothing,
really
no vertical.
interconnects. There's shortcuts, but they only lead back to like whatever bonfire you're currently at. Like it never really, there's no like Bloodborne style, like coming up through the Forbidden Woods and then coming
Mhm.
back to Yosefka's Clank. Like there's
Yeah.
nothing like that.
Elevator back down to Firelink Shrine shit.
Exactly.
Like,
From the
yeah.
church. Yes. Nothing like that. And it basically just reuses a ton of shit from the first game and just kind of like places it in random spots. And I mean, I don't know. Again, it's not made by Miyazaki. He was working on Bloodborne when they were doing that, is what I understand. So,
Timeline
uh,
adds up.
yeah, it's a different director and different team, and the combat is good. I will give it that. I think the combat is great. The graphics are really good
The
too. I
graphics are
think,
great. The cutscenes are really nice.
yeah.
I'm gonna enjoy this because it's
A
definitely
bunch of the
Dark
maps.
Souls. Like,
Yeah,
I'm like,
you're gonna enjoy looking out into like the skyboxes and
Mhm.
stuff in some places, and just there's a lot of like atmospheric stuff, but it's mostly just walking down lanes and taking out bosses, which is fine. And
yeah, the boss. I'm sure the boss
Yeah.
battles are good still. So
yeah, it's like 50-50.
yeah,
It's like 50-50. Some of them are not, but
I
some of them
started as
are.
a sorcerer. Like,
Okay, I don't think I ever did
Mhm.
magic in that one. I know I like collected all the spells at some point,
Yeah.
but I don't remember actually having a build like
Because
that.
the
I don't
way
remember what we did.
pyromancies work in this, it's scaled with faith and intelligence. So basically pyromancy is just an offshoot of being
You just
either
use everything.
sorcerer or
Yeah,
cleric. You can go
they
from
treat it
either
like the
one.
chaos magic, like the dark hex magic. Same kind of deal, I think.
Mhm.
That might be
Yeah.
exclusive to D2. Do they have hexes and curses and shit in the
Not
other
sure.
dark?
I haven't gotten
The
there.
black.
Oh, they have
I
a
don't think
hexes
so.
in 1 and 3.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Anyway,
Anyways,
I think they were called dark miracles or something like that.
Oh yeah, I never do faith-based stuff.
Um, but shit, dude, February 25th or whatever. That's
Yep.
so far.
can it be here? Can it be here?
Can it be here? I can't wait. What's your top for the week? What's the biggest?
Well, the thing I am most excited for is on Saturday. It's going to be the AEW pay-per-view called Full Gear.
Ooh.
Word.
Yeah, it's going to be like pre-stack card, about 7-8 matches. They're all going to be pretty decent, 4 hours. I picked out 2 matches that I'm like the most excited for, the ones I'm definitely looking forward to. The first one is going to be it was CM Punk versus Eddie Kingston. So CM
Yes.
Punk's been around forever. Took the past 7 years off, most recently with WWE, and just came back to AEW, and he's taken the role of like kind of the here just to test himself after 7 years, like just to see what the AEW locker room has to offer, kind of being like a coach. A lot of his feuds have been started by like someone comes out and beats someone up after a match, and like CM Punk's like, nah, I don't really like that. That's kind of bullshit. You're being a bully. Like, I'm gonna fight you now, you know, or
Okay.
someone like overextends, so they pin and then they beat up a guy after, and he's like, why'd you do that? Like, we're professionals here, it's like, I'm
That's
here to
okay.
fight. So he's been just kind of been doing like mid-card stuff as well. And they wasn't really, as of about 3 weeks ago, there wasn't really anything set up for the pay-per-view.
Okay.
So he's just back doing an interview, and earlier in the night, on that particular show, Eddie had lost. Eddie's a hothead. Eddie's from the Bronx or from New York. If I say from the Bronx, he's not from the Bronx, people get upset. So.
He's somewhere in New York. Yeah.
New York.
New York
maybe?
somewhere.
I don't
Sure.
know.
Yeah.
Sure,
They're all
One of the
there.
boroughs.
Yeah.
One
okay.
of them.
All right. Thank you. Yeah. So, always been a fighter. This week came out with a really awesome article about his love of professional wrestling, how he got into it, and how it's his outlet, for his anger and his depression, his anxiety, and how talking about mental health and supporting your friend's mental health is cool. And one of his best friends, who's also in AEW, just went into rehab for alcohol, and like everyone's really supportive of that, and kind of hasn't always been that way, especially in that industry.
Yeah.
So going back, Eddie had just lost, and CM Punk is like doing an interview, and Eddie just comes in to the interview just hot, and it's just like, and CM Punk's just got like this smirk on his face. He's a baby face. You're supposed to root for him, but he's got this smirk on his face. And Eddie's just laying into him, and just starting beef, and it was great. And so they just kind of let that build. They had to get broken up, and then it was like last week or 2 weeks ago, they just gave them mics, and they just let them roll, and it was one of the best promos, like the best back and forth I've ever seen. Like Punk, the main point was just like, hey, I really had your back in the beginning, and I really thought you could make something of yourself. and it just never happened. And like, I'm really disappointed in that, and just like, and like, I'm holding to that standard, and you're just never living up to it. And then Eddie coming back and was like, you don't know what I've been through. You don't know that, just getting into each
Sure.
other's face.
Classic,
And
yeah.
Eddie's supposed to be the heel here, but everyone was rooting for him because he
Kind of
was
turn, yeah,
ripping into
kind of
him,
getting
and just,
over.
and
Yeah.
Punk's got that smirk, and just like, so this is why I was drawn to this, and like, is like, I want CM Punk to lose now. And you're not supposed to want that. Like, he's gonna win. He's like gonna move on. Like Eddie,
Yeah.
this part of Eddie's job is to like hype these up to make these matches, and like, it's gonna be great. He's gonna sell well, and like, so
Yeah.
Awesome.
yeah.
Hell
But
yeah.
it's just, yeah, their back and forth was amazing, and the promos
Yeah,
and
looking
all
forward to
the
it.
leading up to has been awesome. So the next one I was really into is Bryan Danielson versus Miro. This would have been Bryan Danielson versus John Moxley, the gentleman who is now in rehab for alcohol, who is Eddie Kingston's best friends.
Okay.
Miro, his gimmick is he is Miro the Redeemer. He's very devout, very into his faith. He loves his wife. He was Rusev in WWE. His wife was Lana. She was she tried to wrestle a little bit, but she was more of a manager.
Yeah.
Okay.
Also in WWE. She's not a character in AEW at all, other than that he mentions her in his promos because everyone knows who she is.
Sure, just by name.
And she is very attractive, and he always in his promos is like, the wrestler who he is about to face is between him and his god and his wife, like his god up above and his wife down below, is what he always says. It's
Oh
so
my gosh.
fucking good. So he's Miro the Redeemer. He just undefeated for so long. He was holding the mid-card title, the TNT champion, for a year at least. Just so dominant in all of his matches. And he was calling himself God's favorite champion, and just never
Sweet.
wanting to move on. You're just being this mid-card powerhouse.
Yeah.
That was really great and a really good character. And then he lost that title about a month ago. Didn't really have anything to do, and just filled in. He's filling in for this match essentially, because this is part of a tournament, so he had to fill in a couple rounds ago for John Moxley.
Okay.
Bryan Danielson, very popular in WWE. Everyone know him as Daniel Bryan, and he's just absolute technical master. Yeah, he's the yes man.
Yeah.
Yes, man.
Of delight in the ring. Every one of his matches he puts 100% in. They're always like 20 to 30 minutes long. Brutal, like trading strikes. He's really gotten to express himself a lot more now he's been in AEW, because he can show his wrestling prowess. In WWE, it was a lot more strikes and suplexes and slams, and in AEW it's a lot more holds and submissions. He's finished pretty much every match with a different submission, which has been amazing. Like, just like,
is this the guy where we were watching and you were like, he gets him in the submission, but it looks like it doesn't hurt at all, but they sell it like yeah. I like
the
that
cattle
guy
mutilation.
Yeah.
Bryan Danielson, the American Dragon. Yeah, he's
Cool.
just so into it that you can't not be into it as well.
Right.
And was
so
the kind of guy where you say, he could like wrestle a ham sandwich and it's like a 5-star match, because like you put anyone in there that knows what they're doing at all, and it's amazing.
Yeah.
So those are the two I'm very much looking forward to, other than everything else, which is gonna be great. The championships on the line, women's championships on the line, tag team championships on the line. So one of those are
tag
up and down
team.
the card.
So We're gonna see
Oh,
the
we're gonna see
Frog Boys.
FTR. We're gonna see
Yeah.
but they're not gonna be the Super Ranas because it's not the AAA titles are not on the line. It's just the
Oh,
AEW titles, which they do not have.
okay.
But the Lucha Bros do have
Do.
the
Yes.
AEW. Yeah,
Hell
yeah,
yeah.
they're definitely gonna wrestle. Gonna be dirty.
Of course.
They always
No,
fight
it should be
dirty.
a good 4 hours. Yeah,
Mhm.
that's gonna be a nice program.
Yeah.
Looking forward to that.
Yes, sir.
Well,
That's
I'm gonna
exciting.
take it and just say I'm gonna throw it back to last Saturday to the 4 hours that we watched on just Saturday night.
Mhm.
UFC, what was it, 268?
Ooh,
Bought a UFC card for the first time in a while.
yeah.
Was not disappointed in
Yeah.
the slightest.
That had to be the first UFC card I watched in its entirety.
All the way
Probably
through.
lifetime. Yeah.
Yeah. And you are so lucky that
Yeah,
was one
from
of
what I
the
understand.
best. That was one of the best cards I've ever seen in my
Yeah.
entire life. The
So
amount of amazing fights that we watched that night, I can't even. In this, we started watching from the undercard. I
mhm,
think we missed 1 or 2 fights because I
yeah.
just hadn't had it on until later. But the second we turned it on, what was it, like 10 fights that we watched that were just incredible. And then we get to the main card, the 5 final fights. I mean, it was so amazing. I literally don't have words. As a fight fan, as a very old
So
school devout MMA fan, I don't even know what to say.
my take as like the stuff that really stuck with me,
Yeah,
super casual observer, was definitely the one where the guy. So I don't know remember any names, but I can remember
sure.
he had like green trunks and he won. It looked like he was losing, and then he just won with like a knee to the face,
Okay,
or it
yes.
was
Ooh.
like it
That
was pretty even.
that was one of the undercard fights that we
Yeah.
saw. I believe that was Alex Pereira.
Mm.
And yeah, so this was his
That
first.
was the picture I sent y'all. The guy that looks like a clown with his
Oh, okay.
with
So
his jaw.
Ooh.
It
that
was
was a
the guy.
different fight.
Oh, was it? Oh, okay.
That was a different one. So that was a
Alright.
later fight. That was Frankie Edgar and Marlon Cheeto Vera. That was one later.
Ah, okay.
But yeah, I mean, both of them. Those were both stunning knockouts. Alex Pereira with the flying knee. Yes, he was getting
Okay.
wrestled
So
in the
yeah.
first round. The other guy kind of kept him pressed down against the cage, and the second round he came out and within 14 seconds or
Yeah, it
something
was
he
just
squared
boom.
up
Lights
and
out.
just flying knee, one hit, and that guy was out. And welcome to the UFC. Like
Yeah.
great first performance.
Yeah, I remember
He's
that
a
was his debut.
former.
I think he got a performance check from that.
He did.
Dana
Yeah,
gave
he
him the check.
definitely did.
Yeah.
Dana White was handing out a lot of
He handed
extra
out at
money
least like
that night,
4, yeah.
man. Yeah. Michael Chandler and Justin Gaethje. That was one of the most intense fights I've ever seen in my entire life. That first round, they just completely bludgeoned each other. Second round, I believe Chandler picked up Gaethje at one point and tried to slam him down, but Gaethje just kind of went through his legs around the back and then just kind of flipped out, and they took it to 3 rounds and just
Mhm.
beating the hell out of each other. And then the
Yeah.
next fight was exactly the same, and then the next fight was exactly the same, and then the girls went at it and they went 5 rounds just
Mhm.
beating the hell out of each other. And then Usman and Covington put on
Yeah.
a show.
Phenomenal.
And Dana White said, hands down, he was like, if Kamaru Usman didn't exist, Colby Covington would be the champion. He would be the champion of the world. There's no one in the division that's even close to those two. But it's just that they're still
2 championships don't exist in that weight class. So.
no, it's
Yep.
just not a thing. But man, what a fight, man. Just
What does Colby do now? Does he just try to go back, or does he like switch classes, or?
I think that he will probably I think this is his weight class. I think that he's
Mhm.
pretty much perfectly where he should be at. Um, I think that he probably needs to win like probably 2 fights, maybe 1, depending on who it is and what the rest of the field is like. Um, I know Usman is really into getting that paycheck now, and I don't know any other fights that are gonna pay as much as like another fight with Colby. But it's usually kind of like you lose twice, you kind of are SOL for a while,
Yeah,
especially if it's the same guy. So I think that since he's already number 1 ranked, I mean, he's not going anywhere. He's probably going to fight, the number 4, number 3 guy, and then maybe another fight after that. But I think Dana's right, where I think that him and Usman are kind of like up here, and the rest of the cast is kind of down here. So I think that he's not going to have a whole lot of trouble getting back. It's just like,
Mm.
how long is Usman still going to be there? He's been talking about, well, the sport's not really interesting to me right now because I've won almost 20 fights without losing and nothing's
Yeah.
really close to me. And
makes
so we'll
sense.
see.
Yeah.
But I mean, Colby, Colby was keeping the character afterwards and said that, someday maybe he'll have a career in the WWF. So, I think that he just wants to make money overall. I mean, that's why he does his whole character shtick anyway, so he can sell. But he's a hell of a fighter and hell of a talker. But he was talking mad trash about AEW and American Top Team, which is his former MMA gym, saying that they're all a bunch of bums and that he would never
Oh,
perform for a second tier promotion like AEW, and
Ooh.
talking mad
Dan
trash.
Lambert will be in ring
Yes.
wrestling this Saturday.
Oh, he's actually gonna
Yeah,
be.
Chris
Oh,
Jericho bamboozled him
Ooh.
because
oh,
Chris Jericho is allowed to pick the 5 members from American Top Team, and Dan
okay.
Lambert called himself a member at some point on
Oh.
the show within the past year.
Sweet.
So yeah,
Heck yeah.
so he's in there.
Nice.
It's
There
like a
you go.
5. It's like a 5v5.
I
So
do like
he's one
that
of the 5.
ATT is doing that stuff. I like
Yeah.
that they're just doing this
Yeah, so
crossover. I mean,
it's Junior Dos Santos, Jorge Masvidal, and Lambert.
Dan. Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
Masvidal. I love Masvidal.
Yeah, so those are the 3
Everybody
top
loves
team
one.
members, and then 2 AW guys that are like aligned with them.
Okay. All right. I'm interested. I'm sold. I'll watch it. I like Masvidal too. He's a character, man.
Yeah,
Those guys are great. And I think it's a good crossover promotion for them. I mean, they're already there in Florida. Like,
yeah,
why not? They're trained professionals. They know how to handle themselves and their bodies, and they're gonna be probably even safer than some of the wrestlers out there just because of the amount of training that they have in that particular area. So
Okay.
I'm excited. I hope they put on a cool show. I'm interested.
That'd be
Nice.
great.
Hell yeah. Well, sweet. Nice. Those are the tops.
Those are the tops.
Those are the tops. Those are some good tops. Did you know at Dutch
those are
Bros
some wicked
Coffee,
taps, guys.
they call whipped cream soft top?
Soft top?
Have you ever been to Dutch Bros Coffee?
Of course. Of course.
I
Oh,
have
love
Dutch
the
Bros
Dutch Bros.
twice a day.
Holy shit.
I make
It's a
time
bit of
for Dutch
addiction.
Bros.
I was
You could say it's a bit of a treat for myself.
it's a bit of an addiction.
So
On the way to
top
work and
5
on the way
top
back.
5 sugar-free Dutch Rose flavors are their caramel,
Everything that they do.
their mocha.
Yikes.
All right.
But they call whipped cream
Soft
soft.
top.
Top. It's
I'm
not
around the
sugar-free.
soft top.
It's not whipped cream. It's whipped cream soft top.
It's with dairy product.
Yeah.
Dairy
Yeah.
soft top. What's your flavor? What's your go-to flavor? Do you?
Well, it wasn't. Well, so okay, I got it for my baby's mom because I was going to pick up my kid and she asked if I
okay.
could get coffee. So I'm sure whatever in her
She
order
want-
was,
She wanted Dutch Bros.
she wanted
Obviously.
she wanted Dutch Bros and she wanted a 911 with soft top. And I didn't ask any questions. So I just, can I
For
get a
those of the
911 with
people
soft
listening,
top?
we're just shaking our heads.
But I ordered two. Yeah, I got a second one for myself. Why not? I'm there.
See what the 911's all about.
And I'm assuming it was just a fuck ton of espresso because
So,
I
yeah.
felt hella caffeinated afterwards.
I was picturing, yeah, it's like an emergency wake up.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
let's
that's kind of what
let's
it felt
quad
like.
shot this person
Quad shot.
With soft top.
and some whipped cream on it and call it a macchiato.
Yeah. So I think that maybe it's because, and then maybe it's a distinction, but I don't think the cream had sugar in it. I think it was just like you said, like whipped dairy, like
Mhm.
so just whatever natural sugar it has in it, but it wasn't like added because it didn't taste like sweet. It literally was just
Oh yeah,
like,
it's just like the heavy cream and
Yeah.
the CO2 and just
right.
Yeah.
Yep. But it woke me up. I'm fucking, what time is it? 8:30. I'm feeling good. Which is cool because Shin Megami Tensei comes out at 10. So got another hour and a half before I can even boot that up.
How hard are you going to jizz tonight? Is the question.
I hope a lot, right? Like I hope it's just like a big
that's the
truckload.
ideal experience when playing a JRPG.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
my understanding.
Yeah.
I'm really looking forward to it. I will give my full review next week for sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Very excited.
Very exciting.
But I always keep my expectations tempered for stuff like this, because who knows? I
This is
could
big.
get into it and it could be little jizz, very little jizz.
Maybe a small
I have a
pantage.
feeling it's not gonna be that, but again, I just wanna temper my expectations. But
How to temper.
I believe in Atlas. I do. I don't remember the last thing that they put out that I played that I was like, oh, this isn't very good. Like they pretty much just serve W's. So I'm stoked. Yeah.
Okay. Did you guys see that that trailer, Lies of Pinocchio?
I did.
Yes.
I
What
did see
you
that
think?
trailer.
I thought it was corny. I thought it looked
Super
really
medium?
janky. Yeah, I
Super
feel
mid?
like I would probably not pay $30.
It looks like a
for that.
free PS Plus game that I'm gonna get in 2024.
Yeah.
That Deegan's gonna be like, hey man, if you're looking for a spooky game after
free.
you're done with Bloodborne in
Spooky.
October,
It's
you should
free.
play that Lies of Pinocchio game and be like, oh yeah, I forgot
And-
about that
And
game.
then you'll
Lies
play
of
like
Pinocchio.
5 to 10 hours of it and be
Mhm.
like, yeah, this is mid.
The premise is
This
that
is the
you are
mids.
the premise is that you are Pinocchio and you have to tell lies in order to become a real boy, and you're on your way back to Geppetto.
Sounds corny.
I did see that you could combine weapons.
Hmm.
That looked cool.
That's interesting.
It looked like a AAA game, but
Look very polished.
it looked very polished. But the combat and maybe like the character models or like the enemy models did not look AAA. Because
Yeah.
but it's pre-alpha, so
Mhm.
It
not
all
going to judge
changed.
it too hard right now. But
It all changed.
I do think the concept is super corny, and I would probably be more interested if it wasn't Pinocchio,
Pinocchio.
because
They could have called it something else, and then like halfway through we realize it's a Pinocchio story, and then I've been like,
yeah,
"What?"
sure,
Why focus it on the fact that it is Pinocchio?
because it's gonna sell. That will sell, just not to me.
That might resonate with some, yeah.
Yeah, there's gonna be people that are like, "Oh, that's cool."
I don't know,
Because
Mr. Disney, does this not resonate with you?
Well, like, obviously, I saw it for a reason on my, recommended, and I
it's true.
just
Yeah,
press
Yeah.
play and I I was very confused about the lies of Pinocchio
Mhm.
because I was just kind of like again, it was like a kind of a janky Souls like
Definitely
ish,
going for that.
but it just brought me more questions than answers or
Sorry, it's not
anything.
coming out for like 2 years at least, I
Yeah.
bet.
Yeah.
If that.
It's like that Wukong game,
Mhm.
Oh yeah.
Black Mist or whatever
Yep.
it is.
I was
Wukong.
thinking of the same parallel with that as well.
But that game looks way better.
Way better.
Like,
Way better premise. Way
just
better.
everything looks like 10 times better in that game. Yeah, Pinocchio. Boy, let's see where that goes. Oh man.
Netflix announced games, or well, like in the app, I guess you can play games on Netflix now.
Really?
Mhm.
Like browser games,
Like the
Yeah.
choose your
Farmville.
own adventure deal.
No, they have those, but this one is specifically, I guess, to the app for like an iPhone or an iPad, where
Oh,
like I
okay.
think it's like more like solitaire and chess and
Oh,
blah.
so
and-
ooh la la for Apple. Apple only.
Netflix only.
No, it's Netflix, so it's across
Netflix.
Netflix, and I
Netflix
think
and
you can
Apple.
connect with your friends on Netflix and play games with them.
So you have
as
your
well as
Netflix social.
Yeah, I don't know why they haven't released that where you can like watch movies with friends or whatever. I don't know, understand why they haven't released that, but we release games that way. That kind of seems interesting to me. Like, why can't I go watch a movie with you guys on my Netflix account?
I think because you can just do that already, right?
Yeah, we haven't had an issue doing that the way we do.
Well, yeah, I mean, we
And Netflix
get in a
makes their money
party
'cause they
and
get
we
free
press play at the
subscriptions.
same time, but I feel like there is a way that we can both, like, we could just go on to
Like
Netflix,
do a
Go into
watch
a
party.
server.
watch
Yeah.
party, and
I mean,
play.
that is an
Amazon has
option
that,
on
right?
Sling. Yeah, and
Yeah, because I think Amazon Prime has that, and I guess
Yeah.
Sling has that, but I
Mhm.
guess Netflix just isn't
Yeah, I don't
in there
understand.
yet.
No,
Yeah.
it's probably because they're putting out all that
they
shitty
don't need
Cowboy
to do
Bebop
that. Yeah,
stuff.
because they know that they're gonna get more subscriptions not having that.
I don't have a Netflix subscription. That's one I'm short. I might trade my Hulu for it at the end of the year because there's a couple things I want to watch that are coming to Netflix, but see a couple animes that are exclusive.
Mm. Oh, and your favorite, the new Cowboy Bebop live action.
Yeah, you'll have to tell me how that is because I don't have Netflix, so can't watch it.
No, I can't
A
watch
bummer.
that.
No.
I'm just sad. I'm very upset about it. I'm sad. I'm angry. I just started Cowboy Bebop again for my 17th run through of that series, and it just made me upset that they're making it more of a parody. Made me really upset that they know they can't do right by the original source material, and they have to try to force this campy, corny into my beautiful
Yeah, I mean, it was
ballad.
said last week. I don't know why it even needs to be made.
Nope,
It's upsetting.
definitely
Yeah,
doesn't.
I get it.
So I watched a trailer today that
Ooh.
I think that we should all watch here
Yeah,
because
because I have not seen this yet.
it's something relevant to what we've talked about in the last few weeks.
Yeah.
And I saw it just randomly scrolling through Instagram.
So I didn't see this because today we're recording this on Veterans Day, and I actually had the day off where I would have been attuned.
You would have
To the
been completely
internet.
on Facebook all day.
Yeah, and I would have put in my headphones and said,
Yep.
I need a moment to the
Yeah.
office. Do not bother me for the next 2 minutes and 40 seconds. Will not be picking up. So yeah.
Yes. So I watched the trailer for the Magic the Gathering expansion, and I thought we should watch it together here on the pod because I was entertained, and I think that you guys will be
Yeah,
too.
it's the Crimson Vow trailer. I'm looking at Olivia Voldaren. She's the bride.
Yep.
So Olivia has been in all 3 Innistrad sets, just a badass vampire, like queen, just all her, like her, okay. Her first card in the first Innistrad set was insanely flavorful because she's a vampire. And so she had activated ability where she could reach out and like deal damage to creatures. And she would turn humans into vampires. And then she had
Nice.
another ability where she
Holy
could
cow.
take control of a vampire. So
Wow. So
yeah.
she's like turning your
Yeah, so
monsters.
she could like
and
either
then
pick them off
taking-
and kill them, but if it didn't kill them, they became a vampire. And then like when you had more mana, you could just invest all that mana and then take that creature that you like had tagged.
That's sick.
Insane. Like
Yeah.
they just
Super
they're
cool.
so good with these. Yeah. So this, we're looking at Olivia. Let's watch
Here we
it.
go.
Ready?
Yeah.
3, 2, we're all set.
Oh, wait. What's
Oh,
the?
okay. Oh, here.
Are we just gonna screen share?
Yeah, screen share
You
it.
want me to screen share? Okay.
Screen share.
Let's do it.
That makes sense.
We can all watch it together.
Yeah.
Our little buglins.
Let me see how we do this here. Host disabled participant screen sharing.
What?
This has become a weekly issue. This is my
Every
favorite segment of Bug Dad.
Single time.
Sponsored by Zoom.
Sponsored by Neil.
Try
Host
that
has
again.
disabled the participant screen
Try it now.
sharing.
Try it again.
All right. So how can I do this where you can see it all?
Full screen it.
That's,
Yeah, there we
yeah, that's good. I mean,
Mm.
there you go.
Oh,
You guys
yeah,
can see
there
it?
you go. Yeah, there you
Yeah.
go.
Cool. Let's do this.
All right.
Oh.
So I assume this other man must be Edgar. This was related. This was the card that I showed you guys last week.
Okay.
Okay.
Was Edgar Markov.
Wow.
Yeah, they really do it up with their expansion trailers.
Mm-hmm.
I would say so. This looks incredible. I wouldn't even know what to think if I just saw this.
Like I said, I was highly entertained.
Oh god. Bring your ass.
Awesome. Olivia might be staging a little bit of a coup here.
Something might be going on.
Ooh.
Oh. Yeah.
Wow. Ooh. Yeah.
I
Uh-huh.
was like,
Yeah.
So yeah, this was released today on Arena.
Nice.
There we go. How do I come back here?
yeah, only knowing what you've told us in the last couple of episodes, I was still just like, oh man, I want to know everything that's going on in this. Like, what? What
Yeah.
is that? Yeah, that the Vampire Queen is such a sick design, and yeah,
Oh man.
Mhm.
the animation was just out of control. I I don't know if I'm as impressed as the one that you showed me that one time with the sorceress taking on like the big demon king thing where he like starts to like take his
Is it the
power
one that
back
had
out
the
of
cover
her.
of the Linkin Park song?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, that was the War of
Yeah.
the Spark trailer. Yeah, that
Yeah.
one was dope.
That
Yeah,
one
that was
was
Liliana. Yeah.
completely out of control, but this was awesome. I watched that on Instagram today and I was just like, whoa, like I'm intrigued. If
Yeah.
I would be super excited if I was a Magic the Gathering fan.
Yeah, the limited, like, the sealed and the draft format's gonna look really cool. I'm excited. It looks like there's gonna be a mono red deck in standard and constructed. So
Oh
I
yeah.
might throw some money into arena so I can build that, because I
Sweet.
get some wild cards to exchange for the
Right.
rares and mythics that are necessary. Oh man, that economy is brutal, because it's not like Hearthstone where you can like take cards that you don't use anymore and like
Mhm.
turn them into a resource that then
Dust
can then
them,
be
right?
turned into cards.
Yeah.
No, you have the card. That's
Forever.
it.
Yeah.
The
You
only
got the
way you
card.
get anything back is if they ban the card.
Ooh,
Then you like refund the wild card for it. That's not
that's
cool.
it.
Highly predatory. That's for another bug dad.
For another bug. Yeah, we'll
That's a
do a whole
full
segment on
a
the
full
economy
segment on
of
that.
The predatory. Yeah.
MTG. Yeah, because that's crazy because you don't even get physical copies, right? This is just
Oh
online.
no. At least with Magic Online, if you had they have a redemption system. So if you can trade in one copy of each card from a set, of a set that's in print, and cash that in online, and they'll send you one copy of that in paper.
Oh,
So it's
okay.
like a set redemption.
Yeah.
So you can actually do that with foils, and there's ways to gain the economy, like with like the foil economy being so cheap on Magic Online, but so expensive for certain cards in paper, where you could redeem them online and get
So
your
there's a
paper
way to
copy.
kind of like
Yeah, it was
mess.
very rare times, very corner cases where that was viable, and but that was always an option. So if you had, so example for this set, Innistrad Crimson Vow, if you had one of each copy on Magic Online right now, you can trade it in, cash it in, and like $75 fee, and then they'll ship
Sure.
you a box that's one of each copy in paper.
Which that seems like a good way to
Yeah.
do it. Yeah.
And despite the fact that on Magic Online, you can trade and sell as if they were physical cards. So there's even the whole like buying them on the cheap, buying like 40, 50, 100 cards that you think is
Just
going to
bulk.
spike
Yeah.
next year or so and sell back. Yeah.
Interesting. So it's like its own whole separate economy on top of
It is. Yeah.
the
Like
actual
it
paper.
mirrors the paper economy. Like certain cards spike at same times and stuff, but the way printings work and how like some printings didn't happen on Magic Online or vice versa. Like some cards are insanely expensive on Magic Online when it's like pennies in paper or vice versa.
Sure.
Hmm.
Probably just I mean, I'm sure COVID really messed with that a lot, but I know
Oh yeah.
obviously what's good at the time, like when the metas shift, I know that changed a lot of stuff as well.
Yeah, it's that, and it's like what people think is good or like what used to be good that people hold on to.
Yeah.
And like, that's just not good anymore. But like it was good. It was so good before.
Could be good
So it
again.
could
Yeah.
be. So that has that price memory is what they call that. Or it's just like bad cards are still like $20 a copy. It's just like never gonna see money again.
Never gonna sell it. Yeah, you're
It's
just
been
gonna
like
hang on to
so
that.
outmoded. Like, but it's just like, it was so good.
Yeah, there's always that one set that could come along and then boom, it's relevant
Yeah,
again.
and you literally never know. Yeah, or like it's a obscure creature type that is now like heavily supported and like it's a linchpin of that like tribal tribal
Right, they
synergy
all of a
now,
sudden
or
just
like
bring it back as a full
yeah.
thing. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yep.
What's one of your favorite foils that you have, or do you even care about having a foil or?
I do love foils. Yes, absolutely. Uh, I mean, so there's a card called Abbot of Carroll Keep that I have in foil that I have like 4 of in my deck.
Mm.
And in like my Pioneer deck that I really like. Of course, like my Commander, they have like a foil copy of that. And like, since Commander decks are one ofs, a lot of those are foils as
Oh,
well.
okay.
Of course,
Yeah. Gotta bling them out wherever possible. In my constructed decks, my competitive decks, you can't have just one foil copy of the card, unless
Oh,
if that's the only copy of the card. So all the copies of the card have to be either foil or not foil,
oh,
because it's just too easy to be accused of cheating if they're, because foils tend to curl a little bit.
So you can kind of
So
see it when the deck is stacked up.
yeah, and especially in the past like 4 or 5 years, like their foiling process has been really kind of fucked, and they
Hmm.
tend to curl if not stored
Cheaper.
properly. So a lot of competitive players have just not
Done away
used
with it.
foils at all in their competitive decks, just all of this regular printings.
makes sense.
Probably easier that way. Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean,
But yeah, there was it was like the 2015 standard season where I like focused on like foiling out my deck like every time
the whole
I would
thing.
won a tournament, like just took the store credit and like traded in the card just to get like foil versions of my cards and stuff. Yeah.
Sweet.
Heck yeah.
Yeah. It's just like,
That always
Yeah.
reminds me of the people that like go hard in Hearthstone and get all like the gold
Yeah.
plated cards or whatever.
yeah, because I
for
just like that was my deck for that season, and I was just
yeah,
I
right.
was
You
just
just
winning
wanted
so
to
much
look
with
as cool
it
as possible.
at the weekend tournaments, the Friday Saturday tournaments, so I could just like every time I won, I could just like trade in a couple play sets and just get it back, because like I didn't want to experiment with anything else, and I didn't want to. I'm not at a place where I'm gonna go back, like
Hmm.
guaranteed to go back, because I'm like at a store in Phoenix or something. So you could either just like buy sealed product and like hold on to that and sell it back at some point, or just buy cards.
Sure.
What do you win?
Are you looking forward to local events with the release of this new expansion? Is this something that you're going to be trying to get back to the shops and
No,
maybe do a couple
yeah, I
drafts or
haven't
anything?
really been drawn to do that, because online
Fair
has
enough. Yeah.
been really good.
Just as good. Yeah.
Yeah, and the comfort of my own home and having to deal with, you know, wearing a mask, not wearing a mask out there.
Yeah.
Just the shop I like to go to is 30 minutes away. I
Yeah.
think I'm all right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's fair. And it does sound like from what you said, almost both of the outlets that you have now online are pretty good and like
Yeah.
pretty adequate for the experience that you want. So that's cool, man. I know that that's
it's also the commitment. Like with online, I can just play like a match or two, and then I
yeah.
do something
It's
else.
not your whole night.
Yeah.
Yeah, your whole
Yeah.
afternoon or whatever, whole weekend for a tournament and stuff. Right on. Yeah. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, you're getting older. You don't have that stamina.
Yeah. Yeah.
Definitely don't have the
Eh,
stamina to do like a Grand Prix anymore, like a 9-round day 1, 6-round day 2 thing.
And I was gonna say, social stamina, dealing with a whole card store full of Magic players, might be harder to do for longer periods of time now that
Yeah.
you're a little bit older.
Well, yeah, I haven't done that in at least 2 years.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
That would, because even now I think about like, because I want to go to a fighting game tournament and I want to go to locals and stuff, or I really want to go to like a major event. But yeah, like being around, well, I guess being around Smash players doesn't sound like a good time. Being around the rest of the fighting game community sounds all right, but
Being
since
around highly competitive people is
yeah,
always
it's always a little
tiring.
especially in the fields that we like to compete in, because just like the typical person that's also interested in the competitive things that we like to do Um, I don't think that the three of us have a lot in common with them as far as like sociability, maybe other outside interests besides whatever the thing we're there to compete for. So I've always found it hard to kind of gel with a lot of the communities, like the fighting game communities and stuff that I've gone to before. Just because like and especially like Neil and I just being at some of these tournaments in the past, like we just kind of like stick out a little bit in a way. And so yeah, it's hard. It's hard to like communicate and like talk to people about other things besides like the game that you're there for.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly what
Yeah.
we're there for.
So it's
No, I identify with that, definitely,
Yeah.
yeah.
and so you kind of like talk shit about the game and then it's like,
One thing that I've always noticed when I'm at a tournament is I've never really experienced tilt to the effect that I like, watch a lot of other players,
mm,
or like the need to comment on like someone's play or like luck or that kind of thing. Like that's was always been a put off on gamers or competitive players. It's it's just like
yeah. Yeah, I had a pro
that
talk shit to me
extreme
during
tilt, yeah, or that yeah, yeah.
during one of my sets at Evo. I was already just super nervous. I let my nerves get to me that whole tournament. Like I was in my own head and yeah, I was playing on a set for one of my matches and there was one of the pros that I knew of behind me and I like lost real hard like my first round and he said some shit to me and I was so salty, bro. Like I was so tilted after that, like already playing like shit, like totally in my head, like could not like get over just this major tournament hype. And then some fucking mouthy pro is talking shit to me about my shitty play. Ooh, oh man, I wanted to go off, but I think the general experience of the whole tourney was made way more up for it
Yeah.
than just that. But I could definitely feel that tilt and that kind of negativity and that like that extra spark sometimes where it's
Yeah.
just like, man, I'm already not having a good time right now. And like, you just made my time worse. So
Just want to get this over with. I just want to shake your hand and get out of here. Just sign the
Yeah.
slip.
yeah,
slip for
that's
me.
definitely my first match there. My
I would
second match went better, but I still
I
lost.
definitely would experience because I like mono red. Mono red is always referred to as fun police a lot of time because it doesn't give
Sure.
the opponent time to set up and do the thing they want to do because you're very aggressive. So
Yeah.
I like to play that. I like to play it well and efficiently, and get play to the edges. And sometimes people get really upset when they just see like you're like mountain one mana creature go past like fucking red, like no brain, no
Of course.
deck for babies and shit.
Yeah, it's like
So there's like some
it's like playing a top tier in a fighting game.
yeah
Yeah.
yeah
Yeah, I'm definitely think get that same kind of, oh, it's just autopilot, you don't have to try, fucking gorilla, fucking
It's just Fox and Melee, dude. You're just playing a spacey.
just playing so bad guy.
fucking soul bad guy.
Close slash, close slash, close slash, close slash, close slash.
Yep.
Close slash.
Strive has
close
been
slash,
fun.
R slash.
Strive, they updated Strive a while ago. It had to be like 3-4 weeks ago at this point.
Yeah,
We've
last
been
month.
doing other stuff. Yeah, we
Yeah, we were
revisited
busy.
it this week. It was great. It was
It was fun.
Yeah, I
really good.
played a lot of new characters that I'd only kind of dabbled in before, and I think everybody's a lot different now to the point where I was playing some characters I hands down did not like before, and was actually having a lot of fun.
Did you try Zato again?
I didn't try Zato again. No,
Mhm.
that's not something. Zato and Eno, I think I don't have just the time. Their execution is very, very difficult, and I just don't have the time to put into it to get to where I would want to be with them.
Yeah.
So I've been playing May and Jacko, and those have both been really fun since they destroyed Giovanna. Well, not destroyed. I guess she's still good, but again, the amount of time I would have to put into her now that she's so incredibly different on every level. I just don't want to. I'm kind of just building off of stuff that I was already kind of decent with. Like I'm still playing Kai and Faust because they're changed, but they're mostly just like the same they were, but better. They all have like better things. And yeah, I don't know. It's sick. I'm excited for the next character. I think the balance of stuff that they did last time is great. I think everything that they've done with this game so far
Mhm.
is 10 out of 10.
Yeah,
It's still
every
my
like
game of the year.
small patch that they said they're going to do has been like touching every character, like,
Yeah.
in multiple spots, and like,
And they're not going down that path that a lot of fighting game developers have done the last few years, where every patch just kills the top tiers and
Mhm.
just kind of like nerfs things too soon, and then we end up getting a very low power, low interest game because you take all the shit that's really cool and good and fun and you just kill it instead of making everything else to that level, and everything just eventually gets down and down and down because you take these things and you make them, oh, they're not so good. Well, now this stuff seems super overpowered, so now we're going to nerf that, and then at the end of it, yeah, maybe it's balanced, but you're going to be way down here, and everybody's going to have like 3 moves that are good, and you're just going to be repeating the same combos. But gear, I feel like they're just kind of like pushing it, like giving everybody
an arms
more
race,
stuff.
yeah.
Like, yeah, like the minimal and the stuff that they do nerf has been cool to where it's like, yeah, we're nerfing it, but like you have to use the green block for it to work, or you have to like perfect just defend it for it to work. Like if you regular block it, it's going to be just as oppressive as it was before. But like if you utilize that meter, if you use this tech, like if you know what you're doing, we're going to give you that advantage to get out of these situations instead of just making the move. Well, we're going to just nerf the whole move. It's like, no, it's going to function the same. But now if you're like a smarter defensive player and you use these other things that are in the game, now you'll have that advantage to get out and to do what you want to do. I think that's sick. Like I love their philosophy in this game. Hats off to Arc System Works once again. They're just constantly showing how amazing they are at making fighting games, and Guilty Gear is definitely getting up there, man. That's, like I said, game of the year still for me.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Game of the year, Guilty Gear.
Yeah, December, the last week of December, we'll go over our top 5s
Oh,
of the
we-
Oh,
year.
100%.
Yeah.
Top 5s of everything. Top 5s music, top 5 video games, top 5s sandwiches, top 5.
Flashlights,
Mhm.
top 5 flashlights.
Top 5 flashlights.
Hey,
Number
what's
1,
what's
Danny
space?
Daniels.
What's Space Hay? I have to know what Space Hay is.
Oh, Space
Is this a
Hay.
song?
Let me take you back to 2001, listeners.
20 year
When you went
anniversary
to
of Space
your
Hay?
MySpace and uploaded some URL and you talk to people, and it's just it's literally just the re-releasing of MySpace. It's the exact same everything it's supposed to be.
It's called
all
Space Hay?
retro. It's called Space Hay.
Oh, Neil.
I saw it and I was just like, oh my god.
Oh, Neil.
Oh my god.
MySpace
You can have a
is coming
song
back.
on your page, you can
Oh,
have your
Neil.
top friends, and
Link me your Space Hay account, please.
I don't have one.
No, but Bugdad will.
Bugdad will definitely have a
You
Space
can
Hay account.
absolutely find Bugdad on Space Hay and
In the next
Patreon.
week.
Dude, I'm telling you, Neil, if next week
GeoCities
we
and
don't have
Alta
all of
Vista.
these social media sites set up, I'm gonna be very disappointed. The fact that we still don't have a Patreon is just driving me crazy.
There's people out there that want to pay
Guaranteed.
for this.
Guaranteed. There
Guaranteed.
will be someone that wants to pay money for this.
They want to join.
They want to join the Bugdad community. give back to the
They
bug
want to be a
gladios.
bug
They
child.
want to join on the Googs.
They want to be a
tier.
bug child. Is that what?
That's hard. Yeah, they want to join Googs
On the
in the
Googs tier.
weekly catch up.
Get that bonus content. Get that unedited video.
Unedited video.
Neil's
Yeah.
top 5 fleshlights.
Neil's top 5 flashlight.
That's the first. That'll be the first Patreon video, man.
No, we already said what the first Patreon video was. That was in the first episode.
We'll have to
We're
review that.
just gonna
Yeah.
change it each
Someone's
time.
We're
gonna
making a
need
lot
to
of
review the
promises.
tape.
All right, gents. Anything else for the week?
No, Kanye. What? I mean, do you want to talk Kanye?
Do you want to talk Kanye?
I mean, I love Kanye.
What do you have to say?
Did anybody see him on Drink Champs besides me?
I don't know what you're saying to me.
Neil, please explain yourself.
Kanye West went on to Drink Champs,
Uh-huh.
and apparently he did this.
What's
Apparently he
Drink
did today
Champs?
too.
What's the format of
Let's
Drink
drink
Champs?
champs.
Drink Champs is a podcast with Nori N-O-R-E. Sorry,
What's the
made me think
Nori?
about a bunch of stuff.
Who are these
With
people?
Nori and DJ FN EFN, and they're a podcast, and it's a hip hop podcast. Usually have hip hop artists, and they come on and they drink a bunch of alcohol and talk about shit. And
Just get loose.
it was
drink
Kanye's
chat.
first interview in like, after what was the Charlemagne the God interview? I think that was like 2019, 2018. So
He was on Joe Rogan like 9 months ago.
Oh yeah, I guess there was that. Whoops, forgot about that.
First interview
'Cause that was
since
so weird.
Joe Rogan.
First interview since Joe Rogan.
Couple months.
First interview in like a hip hop setting. First interview where it's actually like hip hop and like talking about hip hop and
Okay.
like the Drink Champs. They're really
Yes,
good
Neil.
and they do the game. They do
Drink
the
Champs
game.
is good. Drink Champ good.
We're validating your drink champs. Okay. There's the buzz. Still on the counts. I get it.
What,
Okay.
so
so
Anyways,
what
he
did
was,
Kanye bring to this?
He was just talking a lot of
well, what did he drink?
Oh, what did he
Ooh.
drink?
he drank what was it? It was I think it was a Hennessy. I think he drank Hennessy.
Just
And
straight-
what did
Oh
he
no,
chant?
it was a Japanese whiskey.
Okay.
That's what it was. Japanese whiskey. I forget what it's high end, whatever, but
Japanese whiskey tastes a lot like scotch.
he was shooting
So.
it.
That's weird.
gross.
Yeah, no chaser, just bomb, and then he smoked. And then he smoked on it. Actually showed him like, and he didn't light his own joint. Made somebody
Oh,
else light the joint. for him.
Kanye. I'm
Why
surprised he
would
drank his own drink.
Hey,
poured-
hey,
he
put
poured
this up
his
to
own
my
drink.
lips so I can drink.
Yeah, yeah. Tilt my head back. Tilt my head back a little more. Oh, too much.
He said he didn't want to look all stumbly and fumbly because he had gloves on. So he was all like, I don't want to like stumble and fumble around, like just light it for me and then I'll
Because he had
smoke it.
gloves on.
He had gloves on.
Couldn't take the gloves off. Yeah.
Couldn't take the
No.
gloves off.
Of course
Yeah,
he had
part of the
gloves on.
image, part of the whole
Obviously.
whole swag that he had, the chain. with
Okay,
the
so what did
leather.
he say?
You guys are keep going with it, so that I'm just gonna feed you into it. No,
need
he,
to have
he
some
was talking a
control of
lot
this
about the industry,
conversation,
talking a
Neil.
lot about his mistakes, talking a lot about how
Whose
Him and-
podcast is this?
him and Drake, how he loves Drake, and it's not like beef or anything like that, and he wants to come together.
I knew they
and-
never had beef. I knew it was all show. You guys
knew
were
it
all
was all
getting
show?
worked. Yeah.
Yeah, he's just said like he was upset because he went
guys
to
thought it
like
was a
his
shoot.
kid's birthday
CBC
party.
has seen so much pro wrestling in his day that he can call out a fake rivalry anytime.
Anytime.
That was a feud.
And then there was that terrorist video that he released where Jay Prince was like behind him, and he was like, "I want to
Terrorist
invite."
video.
Neil,
invite Drake.
you
You're so
should take a class or like look up a YouTube video about like how to talk about stuff to like other people.
people who have no idea.
People that don't know everything that you know. You gotta kind of like lay out a groundwork for what you're talking about and referring to. So what are you saying? What happened?
What's the terrorist video about?
What was the terrorist video? What are you talking about?
Jay Prince and Kanye West. Jay
Who
Prince
is
is
Jay
a
Prince?
Jay Prince is a president of Rap-A-Lot Records.
Okay.
Nice.
Notorious gangster. Very well street cred person. He was responsible for when Drake and Pusha T had the beef. He was the one that came out and was like, hey, we need to stop this before people get hurt. And
Drake.
Another
yeah.
very, very real feud.
Who's
Again,
gonna-
obviously.
People get hurt and Drake was involved.
Yeah. Drake ran for
Okay.
the gangster.
Okay, so this guy
So
I
this
now
guy,
Kanye
have- I now
West
have context.
this
Thank
guy
you.
and Kanye West met
kissed.
and they met at a
They
chapel
love each other
and
very
talked
much.
it out. And Kanye West extended the olive branch to kind of, because the beef has been on in the media. Everybody's talking about Kanye versus Drake. And he was like, hey, I want to perform our albums together. I'm inviting you on stage in December to perform together to free Larry Hoover, notorious gangster in Chicago that got arrested for a murder charge. He's been in jail for about 50 years. He's not allowed to appeal his case or anything like that. And people are trying to get that changed because he's done a lot for his community. And it looks like he's done the rehabilitation and changed as a person inside jail. Very studied, everything like that. But he has a far reach, and they're trying to free him. They're trying to free him from jail. I think that's important. I think it's important to both of them, and I hope that they can squash the beef to come together for a good reason, at least come together to help instead of hurt.
I
But
don't know.
it was nice to see Kanye actually a little bit more functional and not so sporadic and all over the place. I mean, he'll say things that are very out there and name drop really high exclusive names and people and everything like that. But it was actually cool to see him a little bit more coherent, a little bit more having fun. I haven't seen Kanye West smile that much in an interview. And it seemed like he was
Actually,
having a
smoking
really,
weed and drinking Hennessy.
yeah, he just looked like he was having a really good time. It looks like he's really like he's good to where he's at right now. And I think that that's going to go a long way. I always thought he was a genius and always thought the best of his music, his apparel. So just good to see him in a good place for once. Because he's always painted as the bad guy. And I feel like media does that to keep him kind of shoved down, just discredit him before he can get a thought out.
Yeah, for sure. That is probably true.
Apparently he did a second Drink Champs interview today as well. I haven't seen it yet. It's supposed to come out tomorrow.
Loves Drake champs.
He was like, I love that so much. Let's run it back.
Yeah,
Let's
on
run
Drink
it back.
champs.
I'm gonna
Yeah.
drink. I'm gonna chant.
Well, I know you don't have Netflix, Deegan, but Neil, you should definitely watch The Harder They Fall. I watched
want
that
to.
today. It was really good. I gave it an 8. Good soundtrack, pretty awesome story. Didn't really drag, like pretty crisp, like 2 hours, 15 minutes. Nice Western, like, yeah.
Heck yeah.
Who's in it?
So it was Idris Elba, dude who played Kang and was in Lovecraft Country, Jonathan Majors.
Yeah. Mhm.
Watchmen chick, Regina. What's her name?
Okay.
Yeah.
Virginia King.
Yep, that's her. Zazie Beetz is in it.
You said it's a Western?
Stanfield. Yeah, it's a Western.
Nice. I love Western.
Yeah. Yeah, it was great.
Hell yeah.
Everyone was good. Good cast. Good story, like I said.
I saw the
About
Easter
it,
egg.
about
I
it.
saw the Chadwick Boseman Easter egg.
Oh,
that they
yeah,
threw in
yeah.
there.
Yeah, right in the beginning.
That was pretty
there.
cool.
Mhm.
Excited to see.
I mean, I also watched Dune.
Oh,
I have no, like I said, no prior knowledge. Like, never read the books, never saw the original movie. Pretty
mhm,
decent movie. Like,
pretty good.
definitely setting up a lot. Like, it's definitely gonna be a part of a bigger story, which I'm very intrigued by.
Yeah,
Very visually, pretty cool movie. Yeah, should
nice.
check that one out as well.
Hell yeah, I'm into
I'll
that.
put
I
that
want to
on.
watch that.
Mhm. That one was hard to get into because, like I said, since I had like no emotional attachment to any of these
Yeah,
characters, and it's like the first hour was tough. So like, I remember
it's a
I
slow start in
watched
the
it
book too.
and then I stopped and then I watched it over again from the beginning. Now that I knew more,
Kind
and it
of,
was a lot more entertaining. Yeah, because like when I'm seeing people for the first time, I know who they are now and their relationship a
yeah.
little better. So
It kind of has that Game of Thrones problem where there's a
yes,
lot of proper nouns being thrown at you very
yeah,
quickly.
yeah,
So you're getting like the name of the place, the name of the factions, the name of the characters, the name of
yeah.
their special equipment, the name of their, and it's like,
And like
what?
what their resources, yeah,
Yeah,
like yeah, what their scope is.
yeah,
Yeah, so it was cool. Yeah,
nice.
very
Do you
into
want to watch
very into
that?
the world.
I have read the book, or at least the first still. I've read
Yeah.
Dune. I have not
And
read
it's
the
like
rest of them.
not a lot happens because it's so much world building. So it's just like
Mhm.
one big event and that's it. Yeah. Felt very like A New Hopey, where it's just like we're jumping around from planet to planet. We're setting up, family, setting up the storyline, and then just kind of once they come together, that's when we end.
I mean, I think Lucas has been pretty open that Dune is like a major
Yeah, I
influence
can see that.
on Star Wars. So
Yeah,
I
Yeah.
think
because like
that,
we're coming into a lived-in world, that's just been around forever, and like
yeah,
things don't work, some things do. Like, yeah,
and you're
yeah,
just kind of like joining the young hero, like as he's introduced into this world that you're also
yeah,
being introduced to. Yeah,
yeah. And he's not prepared for. Yep, totally.
some audience. Nice. Heck yeah, that sounds like something I'm gonna watch very soon.
Yeah,
Maybe
definitely
not
make
very
some time.
soon. I
Make some
still
time for
haven't.
that because you're going to need about 2.5 hours to watch that.
Yeah, still haven't seen Suicide Squad, so
Yeah.
I'm gonna need like a full ass like 24 hours at some point to just
Well,
catch up.
someone did have a week off of work recently.
You know, I did.
Yeah.
I did.
Could have done it for the pod, man. Could have done it for the Patreon. Those Patreon subscribers, they would have loved a bonus episode of our commentary on Suicide
That
Squad.
was the that was the, now I'm remembering, that was the first Patreon goal, was to our 100 subscribers special is going to be me watching the live action Cowboy Bebop show. So
Yeah.
yeah, maybe I'll put Suicide Squad on that sub list. Get to 150, maybe I'll watch Dune and Suicide Squad in the same day.
Actually watch it. We'll get your valuable opinion on it. I'm dying to know.
I know everybody wants to know Suicide Squad. Yeah,
Steve, gonna
it's
give it a
great. 10 out
frowny
of 10.
face or a smiley face.
Suicide Squad is so good. I watched it. 10 out of 10. King Shark is in it. Love that. It was great.
Loved all
I'm
the characters.
assuming.
Peacemaker is my new favorite. Hero?
Do you call him a hero?
Question mark. He's getting his own show, so some kind of protagonist, anti-hero.
Yep.
Hell yeah. Well, anything else, gentlemen?
Well, we missed it last week, but I'm gonna need a hat of the week from Neil.
Oh,
Hat of the week.
hat of
I'm
the
gonna need
week.
a hat of the week.
Hat of the week.
Yeah,
Hat
is
of the
that going to be
week.
the closing segment every time?
Unless someone comes up with
No,
a better
because last
sign
week
off.
we didn't.
Yeah, I mean, I don't have
Last
one.
week we didn't.
Hat of the
That's what
week.
he's saying.
Hat of the week. Hat
So
of
give us
the
hat of the
week.
week.
Hat
Because it's
of the
not that
week.
one that you're wearing.
No, it's not that one. That grungy.
That
No,
fucking
no,
hat that
sir.
you need to
Grungy,
wash really, really
nasty.
badly.
No.
I wear it every day. Hat. No.
Put that shit in the
You should have
dishwasher.
come more
man.
prepared for your hat of the week segment.
I have two on my bed.
Hmm.
I will know if it was the one that you showed us 2 weeks ago.
I Everyone will
What?
know if it was that one. Everyone will know if it was
Isn't
that
it
one.
the red
Not the
one?
listener. The listeners won't know
The
because
listeners, the audio only that we don't even
audio
have.
only people have no clue about hat of the week.
My hat of the week this week, sprung onto me by my first daughter, Cambria. She wanted me to wear a hat. She wanted me to wear a hat that had a dog on it. And it threw me for a loop. I couldn't think of a hat that I had a dog on.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Is it a Yankees hat?
It's not a Yankees hat.
It is the dog wearing a Yankees hat on
Nope.
the hat.
It
It's
is a
the dog
Vans.
Wearing a Yankees jersey.
It is a Vans hat, the Vans Nintendo hat, the Duck Hunt hat that has. Where is he? There he is.
That's such a weak dog hat. And she was okay with this? She
It had a dog
pleased?
on it. She didn't care.
This was enough of a
It
dog.
had a dog
Weak
on it.
ass dog hat. It's a nice hat.
Neil.
I do like that hat.
Neil.
Bam, 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 bam.
See, okay, if he wears it like that, that does seem ridiculous, but it does put the dog pretty center there.
Go to the mall in the 90s, go to the big dog clothing store, get yourself
Big
Oh, I was
dog
thinking
hunting
like
hat.
a Saint Bernard on a hat.
with its arms crossed, like,
Yeah.
like
I
this.
had a Gonzaga hat way
Oh, there you
back
go.
in
A
the
bulldog.
day.
A bulldog hat is
Goes
good.
on.
I had a
Yeah.
Gonzaga hat way back in the day. I was trying
That's
to
a-
find it. I don't
That
think I
is
have
a
it
dope
anymore.
hat. Story less dope, but still cool.
Still a hat. Still a hat that I wore this week that was inspired by somebody.
Mhm.
Hat of the week, ladies and gentlemen.
Hey, guys,
Hey.
it only took 2 weeks to not get a Yankees hat.
Hat of the
Hat of the
week
week.
is our special thing.
All right, where can you
Dude,
find Bug Dad stuff?
by
You can find
episode
Bugdad
50,
at Bugdad
I
Pod
want an
on
official
Instagram at
song
Bugdad Pod.
for
Out
Hat
of
of
the
the
week.
week.
And listeners, we accept submissions for theme songs for any of our beloved segments.
Of
We're
Oh,
course.
yeah.
willing to take a listen to
Top 5
those. And,
flashlights. I guess it would just be
know,
top 5.
sponsored by Zoom, host is disabled, screen sharing for this call.
That is a good one. Yeah, that's getting up there. That's climbing the list of my favorite segments that we do.
I can be found at the Melty Potato on the old Instagrams. You can find me there.
Gosh. Yeah, we're wrapping up. Hey, yeah, I have an Instagram that has drawings on it, and it's called at the Token Druid, and pictures. Me, I did them.
Ooh,
My name is Deegan.
what do they look like? What kind of pictures do they look like, Deacon?
Couldn't tell you. It's a secret.
I
play that
think it's a
pretty,
public account.
play that pretty close to the chest. Definitely don't have any up
Got some
in my
sizzle there.
house.
No.
Definitely
Li-
none on. There are
listeners.
none on camera right now. There's also
Be
none
able
on
to
CBC's camera either.
Pull that up.
No pictures I've drawn anywhere on any cameras here.
I'm gonna need that Kirby one right there, bro.
Oh yeah, well, where is it? Did I give it to you?
No,
Oh well,
you were supposed to, but
Well, that's on you, man.
yeah.
I don't know what else to say.
Zig and Zag, thank you for tuning in to our
Yeah,
11/11
Bugdad
show.
We love
the
you.
old Instagram.
we love you.
guys.
We'll see you next week.
Bugdad.
Anywhere you find your podcasts, give us 5-star review, rate and review, like, subscribe.
Clarky, you better have everything that we said memorized this week by Sunday.
You son of a bitch. You better fucking do it. I swear to God.
Bye.
Bye.